Oi, why? The world is in a mess cause all them concerned about is them pay. So them lead you astray instead of leading you the right way. All me see is tequila, cuss pots and a cuss play. Nobody now, well no men's again, no prayer, no pray. Apparently I be your heart cause the on social media take over. So we just living for the cloud. Oh, you for voting worse than who you have voted out. Sad to say but I don't trust the words that come from their mouth. They giving a lot of jokes but me still can't laugh. My woulda run well long time if Jamaica was on my heart. One of the things them want me can't understand is the war. Everything else gets stopped but every gun come out. I notice every man a preach but nobody not practice. No, no, them used to be solid but now them recycle like plastic. Oh yeah, yeah, regular my ask this. Why everybody toxic? This is a big story, cause all I see is actors and actresses. Yeah. What you used to identify a fool is the mind. Look like everyone enrolled in the schools for the blind. This got to be revelation, just look at the time. Who has said Jamaica peaceful, just look at the crime. Instead of rising mentally, I down we a climb. Artists don't focus on message again, it's about the rhyme. But for them brand me now, wearing me not like the design. The definition of stupidity, that's how I define but them. But them about them and I'm good. A long time them blindfold. Just don't give them no control.
Yes, greetings with the original things and times. Why, disastrous week. Serious thing. We not take ourselves serious, you know. Serious is as African people. We take ourselves serious as black people. I don't know what that is really. And we all are guilty of it, you know, because we just keep following a certain thing, and this program is over a year now, you know. We're supposed to be having, me and one of my sisters and them, having a discussion, a reasoning about black. I mean, yeah, we are black people, dark people, brown-skinned people, people of color, but we belong somewhere. And black by itself is not a country, neither an ocean. And not all land is black land. You have brown land, clear land, you understand? Seriously. Me just come to Africa and it's when I go in the village, me see black dirt. But when me there on the street, in the town, in the city, it's clay. It's brown. It's brown dust. And some places it's like sand. So when we go to the village and the agriculture belt, it's black dirt. The point I'm making is that we have to try educate ourselves. And all of these things happen because we don't have an education. We are educated, but we don't have our own education, you know? So a lot of things are happening to us. And it is because we haven't resourced us. That's me saying it, and I keep saying it from time. You know what I mean? From Black House, from Brother Herman, from Michael X, from Oscar Abraham, from Courtney Tullock, from Trevor Carter, you see, Lionel Jeffries, Mr. LaRose. But I'm just naming them few and the Padmore. It's education. When we can sit among ourselves, reason with ourselves, and set up institutions like the Padmore and like the Beacon Bookshop and keep those things going and have education institutions that we educate our minds and develop our culture aptitude in that space. So ourselves and our children will know which narrative is non-propaganda and what is us from from ESA, the Caribbean, and the continent of Africa. Our syllabus will be so rich by now because we're talking about over 70 years. Our curriculum will be so rich. Our exchanges, educational exchanges, will be so fruitful. In the late 70s, coming up to the 80s, we were doing exchanges with the Caribbean. And that was through the thinking of Morris Bishop and people of that time and Walter Rodney. We had exchange program with the Caribbean islands and the British black, the British Caribbean children would be going back to the Caribbean and see what the Caribbean and feel the Caribbean and eat the Caribbean. And Caribbean children would be coming up here. Usually the children or the students from the Caribbean were better served than us going down. Because the ones that came up, them already knew what they wanted and them come up here for go college or go university. And those who came and just had the visit for the 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they already came with a program in their mind. And them and their sponsors, their guide, support them in that. And we too over here, because they were vetting colleges and universities. And many of them sit tests while they were here. And went back and wrote to their parents and everything and went back with the full intention of returning to attend those institutions. Some of our children that went down to the Caribbean, they was meant to spend 2 weeks, some of them spent 3 weeks. Some of them spent 3 weeks and they spent a month. But then come back and they didn't have intention of going back again. You understand? Because they will go back again for a vacation, a holiday, or some kind of festive event. But what else? Because the caliber of facility institutions wasn't as binding as it is today. The University of the West Indies wasn't up there. And they didn't have even the facility for that. That was true. They didn't have the facility to that. Right? Maybe the university could have taken students, but did the university have board and accommodation? And we're talking about branches of the University of the West Indies. We're not doing good. Anyway, on the screen, for all those mischievous-minded people, on the screen, you'll see Sir Lord Power. You'll see Sir Franco, Tropical Downbeat, Tanai Box. And you see a house of joy with a man that must stand up in front. Them boxes they used to call house of joy. You see? And some of them bigger, because the massive one is not in this picture. You understand? And this was Archery Essential Hall, Sir Lord Power. And Franco already left and gone back home. And Sir Lord Power inherited some of his boxes, as well as Fat Man and tropical downbeat. So let me go again, you know. Sir Lad Power was given some of Francois give him some of his boxes that they chose. Tropical Downbeat had some of his boxes also. And Fat Man sound. Francois was a big sound. All them man they run Brixton and all them places, they don't mention Francois. Francois the Tropical Downbeat is a major sound system player in England. Sir Francois, the Tropical Downbeat. You understand? And that sound, that Black or Dread for him uncle, Tropical. I saw him take the name, Tropical Downbeat. And him carry the name up to today. And him himself was a legend in the sound system, in the town halls, in the blues, in the clubs. Tropical Downbeat. But Sir Lad Power was a rude boy sound out of France. And then Fat Man come and did his thing. You understand? So you can see, when the man them, not Sir Lad Power now, the other sound them, when them get rude, you see what them do to the mesh of that tanai? them tell their supporter them get zealous, you see? I would have take them knife or a screwdriver and try rip the something, you know what I mean? Yeah. So Lad Power that man, you see? So don't underestimate what we are do about here now, because we road, you understand me? You understand? And we not road for road's sake, you know. We road because I saw we born and we defend. You understand? We defend our thing. We don't let someone come and defend for we think for it. We defend it. Sir Lad Power. See? So listen to these two tunes quick. And for we artists, this too is as well, you know, Dennis Emmanuel Brown. Long before England know him. I don't care what them man they are bricks and a chat about. You understand me? Serious thing. Serious thing. Because when we they are Aquarius, you understand? Them man they can't talk Aquarius. Trust me. Right? Them come attack today after something. You understand? Because people treat us good because we treat them good in the first place. And up to today, in our age, all of them that's still alive, them can tell you, say, we treat them with enough respect and them treat we with enough respect as youth. Okay? Because we used to write to them, you know, and reason with them, you know. Okay?
Oh gosh, do-do-be-do-be-do-be dway. Oh yeah, dwing, dwing, dwing. Wiggy-wiggy-wiggy-wiggy. Never falsely accused, no man in this time now. If you do, you'll be weak and faint, covered with bruises from head to foot.
See, when I play with people, may I tell you, man, come. See, enough respect to the family, Ivan and the children them. We not play, man. Sir Lad Power massive. Don't play. We play sound. Come, sir. Yesterday and today said speed. And the name, you hear the name? Sir Lad Power. See? In a battle, a Sir Power. You understand? Out there's a rebel, it's Sir Lad Power. Get it right. Understand it, man.
You're running
hour there we play some Delray and we miss out all these. The whole heap of Delray. Come again. Come.
I don't, baby. Oh, she didn't bad and now.
I may I tell you, man, story time.
Oh, baby. Don't rest your say on that Friday.
See what may I tell you? May I tell you, man? Sure. Ba-wing, ba-wing, ba-wing. May I tell you, tipper. Good. Say that for us.
Oh, baby. Oh, little darling. Oh, little baby.
You must realize there's nothing wrong.
It's a lesson too late for the learning. Made of sand, made of sand. In the wink of a night, my soul is turning.
What a song used to be so sweet, man. May I tell you? Say like poor man, may I tell you no? Sure.
Oh, baby.
You know when me I play that one if the first one here first with Cox and Dad, and this one here come now, Channel 1, different mix. Yeah, you see what I mean? So we want to leave that alone and go somewhere because we want to talk to them about some badness that take place just what they today. Come. Sing a while. Flashing my whip, mama. Flashing my whip. I tell you, that's why you see the up they say tropical downbeat. Yeah, Tio. Come! Stir them up, stir them up. All over.
You and your smiling face,
Flashing my whip.
nothing to me. Flashing my whip, flashing my whip. You got it.
I tell you, man, you ride young, you ride then, you know. Oh, gosh, man. Version galore, you ride that. Listen. It don't beat style, you know.
Get on the Glen Devon special. Get on the Glen Devon special. You're watching this, you're chatting that. You're watching this.
Tell them again. See, them things say we are joking at. Listen good, man. Tell your friend. And a joke out here. Produced by the Derek Carrier.
Get on the Glen Devon special. Get on the Glen Devon special. You're watching this, you're chatting that. You're watching this, you're chatting that. You're watching this, you're chatting that. You're watching this, you're chatting that.
Did you hear that? I tell you.
Oh, King Almighty, Father, I thank thee. Yeah. King Almighty, oh Lord, I thank thee. From the time of my creation, Heavenly Father watches over me. Father,
you hear the Sir Power? I Sir Lad Power that. Listen good. Listen.
scratch it on. And another one.
Now settle yourself. Recline and move over. If that is too much for you, let me push you over.
Really, why you got to do your thing? Until your bumper sound go like junking. So baby, count your pistol in your stocking. Well, I tell you about we will sing all like junking. Oh baby, come for walking and swing. Baby, got to be versatile.
Yeah, man, we bust them. Come.
No, brothers and sisters, good day. Sit down, how you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Cause I would even make your mind out of video. Come in and tell you about the summer little wiggle. Summer is the cockalogan. Colombia is a thing and you should never keep my style on.
You see, when we play the version that say dubwise, people them say, what him say again? What him say again? At 3 weeks, where I run it and run it and run it. For people to understand what I'm saying. I tell you. And that version only can be played by Sir Lad Poe and Tipper Tone Sound. Yes.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yes. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Lord of mercy. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Whenever I'm in times of trouble,
Central sorted everything out. Come.
I'm not giving up. Oh, yes. Whoa, oh, no.
2 more and then we're going to the conversation. Check it.
I'm not giving up.
No way.
No way.
Would never do that.
I'm not giving up. No, no, no way. No way. The road may be rough and tough, but still, I'm not giving up.
See it there? Dan Crucial Caller says, you know, oh gosh, man.
we've been traveling, for we've been traveling more than 2,000 miles.
Yeah, man. So when we come down to Acton Town Hall in them places there, it sound like people sound them know say the weight of Sir Lad Power. Ask them today. Ask them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's you. This is a message I send to you. Speak. Cha-cha and pray, cha-cha and no bother with no tribal. You
Frankie Jones, skip. Frankie, oh. All up, half pint. Rest yourself, man.
Bangili wahai, bangili wahai, bangili wahai. Freedom fighters moving on the African border. Bangili wahai, free.
At that with them, man, and we're not gonna stop it. You understand? We had somebody a chat the other day with a black boy. We have to call him that, man. See? And the boy changed because him simulated him have a good job as a journalist. See? So they might chat about repatriation and everything. And the sister, I represent the ancestors and I represent herself and us. And that's why I use the term. Because you see, definition in the terminology of conversation to really cement your perception or projection, you have to use, we should use the right terminologies because we understand from Michael and Herman and Brother Courtney, when you go to court, it's not about remonstrating, you know. It's about the clarity of the English grammar that you use, especially when you tell the truth. And my mother always I tell me, say, a liar, a lied person, not have no memory. They would repeat something, they would say something about a particular something, and they would change it each time them say what somebody asked them about it. And my mother said, always listen to them, you know. A liar person, not have no memory. Huh? And them get so fixated in them lie telling that they don't even check it. You understand? So from a very young age, Black House students and Harambee students have been taught about going to court and representing the family and themselves if they have to. If we have to. You understand? So we are here some people, this brother, this young man, this man, oppose the sister in relation to reparation. They're saying that he's saying, along with the person who run the program, that we should be quiet because all the drama and everything done with is history now. And we should just get on with our life and stop taking up other people them time. But this is the young conservative and the young British that's in politics. And this African, this black man was supporting that position. And because he's overdubbed, or he's dubbed the interview, he was able to pause it and critique the sister. And when he went after the sister, because he agreed with what the others were saying, wholeheartedly agree with them, because even before him let the thing run, what their position had been, him done listen them already, and he was espousing that. Because then when you hear it, now I'm thinking like, wait a minute, how you get to know that? Because I never realized that even the the interview, and his encoder, him have full control of it because it looked live, but it was only live with him. And he was able to speak when the actual recording, which he was playing back, he was able to do that. So to me, it's and then put himself in there sometimes. It seemed like it was live and he was in there. And then by just keep watching, you realize it wasn't. He was, whoever was doing the videoing for him, there were wizards. But the main point, I had to say that because I admired how him shoot the thing, how him play the thing back. But that position was also, that stance was also taken to America. And the person who made whose program it was also in America on Fox and various other outlets. We have a serious piece of trouble here. And I'm referencing it because when we somehow steamroll what our parents, those of us whose parents came in the 40s after the second fight that these people had. This was through immigration. And those things need to be stressed and you can bundle them all in together, you know, but you don't have to title them with this brush, one stroke of some form of paint and call it Windrush. Because in legality, the people would ask for date and time. And they would ask to be precise, specific. And they will not be binding anything for us because they would want to make that distinction. The people who came here, who were bought here, see that bought? They were bought here to help rebuild this country and restructure, in the first instance, the infrastructure. That was us and our families from the continent. And we were sought after, keeps repeating this, by British inspectors and so forth. And government records and educational records and so forth was made available to them. So they knew what my mother's capabilities and my father and my uncles and my aunties, what their potentials, their education, their capability, experience, what they had, and other people across the Caribbean. And they double up and triple up when it was necessary for them. That's what they did. So this was something exclusively done by England. But our families who come on Windrush, they chose to come to England. Well, I understand that. So there's two different things. Even though we're all children of the slave who came here. But you can't go in a court of law and say, yo, I was here from X, Z, and Y time, and me a part of the Windrush. Them said, when did you come? When did you come? In my mother and father case and my auntie them case, they'd be saying that Mr. Such and Such office with the governor general of such and such. And so, hey. And I was brought to X-Ward, and my handling officer was Miss Thatcher. And the head officer was Enoch Powell. And that we work with, we should be working with in terms of the immigration. And them have paperwork that's nothing to do with no Windrush voyage. Because the people at Windrush now, they will ask them, what year did you come? Them know what year the ship docked here. Not when it left here, when it docked here, when it come back. And how much passengers was on board that ship. And how many Caribbean or West Indian, what they used to say, was on board that ship. Because the ship stopped other places before it come back here. It land back here. And that's very important to understand, to recognize. We're not making ourselves a division. We're stipulating some etiquette and structure and politics correctly. Not incorrectly, correctly. Because the people who volunteer and come here, they volunteer of their own mission. Immigration, they did not volunteer. They were sought after and chosen. In other words, they didn't have no say. In other words, they never sought themselves to say they must come England and Ray and tear and no. When they were chosen, some people were joyful because them studied, and now they feel that they're getting reward for all the hardship that them family went through, and they would have something to show for it and to raise the standard of living for themselves and their families. Oh, yes. Similarly, the ones that jump on the boat, the ship, they would have felt the same way, but they weren't coming here to do no particular job. They might come here trying to find a job, find something to make some money, and still trying to find somewhere to live. Where the others were sorted for, and they were given a work and a boat. It's only later, after we have done so well, that the conservative say, well, they've done all they can do for us, and we want them to leave. And Labour said no. And then we got caught between a rock and a hard place. One said go, next one said stay. And the one that says go, tell us to go, make life difficult for us from that time till this time. Our adventure in England was through our perseverance to survive. It's not that they offered us any courtesy and kindness after all of that. Even though Labour says stay, Labour did not create that wicket that made us comfortable. It was still private landlords that we were negotiating with. We start knowing about court through to that situation. Because as soon as the people them get with money, they evicted us. The word that we never know before, you know. You come home and you can't get in the place because them change the lock. Or they're inside and they put the click on the lock. and you find your luggage and what valuables you had on the step, at the top or the bottom of the step. This is the reality. And those who knew people, like those ambassadors that were favorable to some of us, they were getting lodgings outside of London. It's a lot of our people that live in suburbia of England, if you but knew. And many finish up owning properties in suburbia of England because they were aided and supported, not by England, by the ambassadors. And the fact that we were very close to one another, and the partner and all these things, and 2 and 3 persons get together and then purchase a house. We're not talking about no hundreds of thousands, you know. Because what was 12,000 back then was a hell of a lot of money. But our people, them look at it and say, listen here, unless we know that we're going to die tomorrow, we're going to make it. So that thing where the Indian man, them, they all join up and help one another. We were helping each other also. It's just that it's not being talked about frequently. And it needs to. So hold this.
Prosperity and wisdom is our game. Because black we are, and black we will always be. Black in the sight of everyone is so beautiful to see. Ah, da da, baby, yeah. Come on and show me. Come at last, black man progressing in every way. Black we are, and black we will always be. Black in the sight of everyone is so beautiful to see. Oh now baby, come on and show me how really black you are, oh my darling, oh baby. charity and wisdom is our game. 'Cause black we are, and black we will always be. Black in the sight of everyone is so beautiful to see. Ah, da da, baby, yeah. Come on and show me how really black you are, baby. Ooh, baba doo da. Oh. Now freedom's come at last. Black man progressing in every way. Black we are, and black we will always be. Black in the sight of everyone is so beautiful to see. Oh now baby, come on and show me how really black you are. Oh my.
Yes, we want to also make sure that we pay attention to what our children is doing and what we're doing, and how we converse with our brothers and sisters across the pond, because many of them have good intention, but them communication is not good. Them don't have no social respect, because when them start use the N word and the F word and right MF and so forth, it's a normal thing to many of them, you know. You understand? For call each other those words. You understand? And then they love scoring points. They want to show a next one that they went to this college, they read this book, not even a college or university. They read this book and so forth and so forth. And I'm sure we over here is different. But we cannot allow our children, them to fast with them and don't look in them room and see that they're online with these people. Because many of them, their intentions set out to be good, but they entrap people into a lot of badness. Huh? Them teach one another how to scam people and how to manipulate young girls. And them always use things like how them have so much good intention, because they will grab 1 and 2 persons that have an understanding or recollection of Marcus Garvey, Stokely Carmichael, and so on, and Henry P. Newton. And some of them would talk about Soul and Ice, and some would talk about George Jackson. And then if I say Jonathan, then them stuck. And I'm saying like, wow. So we mention them thing about George for you don't know about Jonathan. And you don't know what George was about. And then I say Angela Davis, and them say, yo, that woman. And I'm saying, what woman? Eh? Beside Winnie Mandela, she's the most solid woman of solidarity that I can ever say I come across. Because George Jackson girlfriend, Angela Davis. Yeah. So, we have to be careful. And them youth, they them man, they don't care about teenagers. Them exploit teenagers. There's a lot of things that we have to try and support our children them here and our people them here in England from not fasting with, you know, seriously. Because the media manipulation is a very serious thing. And we adults, elders, we have to try and make them understand that if Garvey could have get his newspaper out and about, that took long to get across from America to the Caribbean and so on. And now we have telephone in our pocket, round we neck in our pocket, and some people have 3 telephone. 3, you understand? Yeah, 3 of them. Some have more than that, you know. You understand? And we're not communicating. We're not structuralizing. We're not there upon a freedom fighter. We're not there upon structures. We're not there upon building unity and developing an infrastructure. We're not there upon that. We're there upon sending some diabolical photos of people and sit down and having disgusting conversation and jokes about people, women and men. And some of the women, they're more vulgar and more explicit, and nobody not care. But the people them who are manner to the thing, they pay close attention to the decadence and how we fall down. This kind of things mash up societies, mash up cultures, destroy. So, even if you didn't read Garvey, the African people, me reverse it. Can say black people, we not know ourselves until our backs against the wall. And he needed urgent connection with different folks, different peoples across the earth. And the letters took time. Some of them got infiltrated. The newspapers took time, and so on. And look at us now. Him could have just called one family or 2 that was somewhere in the States and some that he knew in England. And the telephone, that wasn't a regular thing, you know. You understand? And now look at us now. We have email. Snail mail no work again, you know. It's still there. And it's probably 70% faster than it was with Garvey and them time. Because email, you pay the right set of money. There's something that reached it the next day. Yes, first class. I tell you. Email. So, now we have the internet, you have email, we have our other systems with the telephone and everything. So, we don't have no bunch of excuse, and you can't dash isms and schisms inside of that. It's just down to how we think and how we act and how we react and where we are, how we're being centralized, if any. And are we using the word and looking at the word revolution? You know, we need to be in a revolutionary mode. So, hear what we used to say.
What a fun in the country. What a fun in the country. What a fun in the country. Galang, galang, galang. What a fun in the country. What a fun in the country. Galang, galang, galang. Most DJ them a talk about them a DJ daddy. Most DJ them a talk about them a DJ daddy. But them not see nothing. They educate way. So come crowd of people while you listen to me. Every day we get a hustle from the SPG. They stop you anyway, take a damn liberty. Now the Labour Party, I try to help we. While the Tory a kick way out the country. The woman me attack at the iron lady. She get a little help from the NF party. Now the council a take a big liberty. Them a give black people the worst property. Like Nightingale and Kingsley say in a acne. Me no want figure end up in a bad property. They kill Colin Roach in a the place to okay. In a 81 them riot down a Brixton City. They don't a day fight fire destroy party. Me teaching you the roots and the reality. Right now we need a prophet like Marcus Garvey. The iron lady she no easy.
Yeah, you see it there? We need someone like Garvey. Oh. And like Garvey saying, back to Africa, you know. You understand? Most important part of the program, back to Africa. See? And then if you look at the thing, examine the things in 30, you know, there's a lot of weak-minded people of our own. Weak-minded. Them sit and listen and them get jealous and envious. Yes. And you know what me can tell you today, from analyzing the whole thing for all these years, all of them had Christian affiliation. All of them.
That puts my love into motion. It is the act of affection that puts my love into motion. It is the act of affection that puts my love into motion. It is the act of affection that puts my love into motion.
I'm telling you, you see, and we need to turn up, because that attempt is back here again. Them rallying all our young men, them, and they're here also to see themselves as Hebrew. Tomorrow I'm going to chat that, because yesterday I'm going to go sleep. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're my age and you look and you see that it's costuming, it's a rerun of several programs. And these programs from America is coming from all the 40s right up to today. And those people don't have no respect for their families, their ancestors, and no respect and dignity towards Africa. They're rerunning that which was before. And they're rerunning to something that doesn't mean anything, because they don't link themselves with Ethiopia. They don't link themselves with Ethiopia. Big problem. Second, from the first, is that it's about costuming. It's not about we're African people, and we will take up from where Malcolm and Martin left off. And we will see ourselves on the continent of Africa. And we will see ourselves developing institutions and businesses and broaden our horizon, because we have so much athletes, we have so much performers, we have seen it. We haven't done it, but we have seen it. We understand the growth of economics. And we have desires just like every other persons or peoples. So what is required in all of that? Honest, sincere peoples. And people who will accept responsibility and project transparency within that culture modality that has to be constantly expressed. But no pastor teach that or speak about that. And it's not something readily talked about on the street. And that's what's required. We need some fishermen and shepherds-minded peoples. But you don't give Melik al-Shabazz his hard work and his God-given blessings a chance. And neither do you give Martin Luther King his vision after realizing the pain and where they were allowing him to take us. So that means that you divorce yourself from their theology. Divorce ourselves from that theology. And if Melik was here, he would have been telling you how sweet Al-Islam is. Because he would be an age, that's all he would be talking about. And that's all he would have feel him need to talk about now. We showing transparency and the love and affection for each other. And keep on. Nothing more. And to do that, he would just show us how beautiful and how sweet Al-Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty is when you're on the right side. But people want to be Cain. And they're dismissive of Abel. You need to understand what that was about. Need to understand what that was about, because everybody seemed to want to be Cain. And then them take this child, Yeshua, and worship Yeshua instead of worshiping God. And when you get cornered, you say that Yeshua is God. And Yeshua never tell anybody to worship him. Yeshua never said he's God or to worship him. Him say to know that the Father is God Almighty. That's what he said. Now, how could he be praying to himself? I can pray for myself. But he needed assistance. And him said, Our Father, who art in heaven, Allah be thy name. Okay, think about it carefully. So we need to leave that alone. The theology. And we expect it to bear fruit. If it was self-sustainment of fruit, you think that man would have given us it? If it was bearing anything, he took all that there is to take. The reason him give it to us, whatever him give, let us have. Him knows that it is non-productive. Am I saying this? Seriously, he knows. Because if it was productive, and the amount of churches and ministers that we have, we would have been running things. Not because we are vagabonds, but due to the blessings and the grace from the Almighty would be with us. Not to overtake somebody's country, to be living an exemplary life in this earth among the devil itself, if the devil is here. Because we won't have no fear. We were too involved in loving God. And to love God is to love ourselves. It's to love ourselves. This artificial nonsense about how much I'm in love with you. No, we gotta love ourselves. When we love ourselves, God give us blessings. First, He tests us to see if it's real. Our approach, that is. And that's the problem that Cain had. His approach. He was watching, peeping. What the hell? Abel wasn't watching, wasn't peeping. He was hearing and obeying. He was complying. Cain had a mind of doubt. And instead of him ask question, to him can't see nothing, he start watching. And through his watching, he determined, his mindset was saying that his brother was better than him. Nobody never tell him that. Him conclude that himself. And don't we have these illusions? Isn't that what the word is? Illusion. And true to this illusion create hostility, enmity and strife. Oh gosh, man. Am I saying all these things? Tomorrow.
Sex in the ghetto where I live. There ain't no lighting in the ghetto where I live. Too much war in our city. Too much war in our bar.
Yes, all of you all for what? The last 12 years more? You watch all the House of Consciousness. And one of them main man get sentenced today. Yeah? Get sentenced for teenage molestation. Yes, and there's much more to come. And now all the people them who is affiliated or associated, them jumping about the place, I try cover themselves because by association, a lot of them are guilty of a lot of things. And plus, other charges that is coming behind the main ones that took place today. What a shame. What a shame. Can you see, Google and Bing, the people them put out there what them want people to know. So they started years and years ago rewriting the African stories, especially into the diaspora, and create a different platform in relation to manipulation of literature. And we the Muslims, I have to say that we the Muslims have discovered this years ago. But now some Muslims, young ones, have engaged by putting hadith and all sorts of Islamic literature up there. And many have been manipulated. And then people stay at places like Hyde Park Corner and LSU and Queen's College and have the audacity to take the mickey out of some Muslim lecturers using these tools as their points. But the Muslim who is well versed, some of them have been able, because we're not talking Quran here, we're talking about history texts, been able to represent the text authentically. But many have not been able to do that. So you go on YouTube and everything, and you see that there's a lot of Muslim bashing has been able to take place because they might use Google and Bing as their reference points. Who's they? The Muslims. Or people who say they're Muslims, because we have that too. So everything is in a bad space because how it's easily maneuvered and manipulated. Where are we? Them changed the goalposts after Sheikh Anta Diop and 4 others have passed. And now they've used their History Channel and many other books and lecturers to tell the European white world that Egypt was white. And Hebrews were white. So what space has been left for Africans, black people? We have to say black now. African black people, Habashis, Sudanese, Ethiopians. So tomorrow we are questioning that now to show you, say, if we keep listening to these people, that means that God forsaken us. The Ham, Sham, and Japhet, something, a work. Ham, Sham, and Japhet. Plus, we enslaved ourselves, they're saying. There was no slavery by white people against black people. White people did not kidnap and put in bondage Africans. And in Africa, there are slaveries. Slavery exists wholesale. And all these conversations, and because we not travel to the motherland, we sit back and say, well, it's got to be true, you know. It's got to be true. We sold ourselves and all that stuff. And then here they come now with the castration and the loss of millions of hundreds of thousands of lives by the Arabs, the Arabs, and so on. So there's something they're coming. It's already here, but it's going to be major because all our children is going to embrace this history because they're at college. That school at college and Sowards, we are vetting it to see what leverage or leverage we have over there. And I'm saying we, the African Caribbean Muslims. We don't know about nobody else. We know that our Muslim community as a whole, they're involved, but they're not they don't have the same thirst and conviction as we do, but them have the money and them have the technical resource. So we're in a good space in relation to SOAS, and for us to understand and influence what they project and to look at the curriculum that they are using and make sure and assure ourselves that it is fully comprehensive and it's contemporary and it don't have a liberal structure to it. Oh gosh, man. So, we want to go here because I'm getting tired now. Sir Light Power. Yes, Augie. Bedford.
Ready. War and fiction upon the land, and pestilence will walk the earth. And it's time to open your eyes and try to live for this what life is worth. Well, if you die, you shall eat dirt. Time to open up your eyes. It's time to realize. Wonder we live the cats of the roof and got to hypnotize. I don't know. Open your eyes, judge your children, or you better get to blow. Everybody's gonna know. Stop fighting against each other. Stop fighting against your sister or your brother. And each and every day I think of the cleaner star. Got to put on my glasses and keep my face from too much war. Too much war. But ain't your right dream, then it's just your spar. One if man gonna live down and jump down or go to Venus armor.
You see, one of the things that's gonna happen to us, we're gonna have a lot of problem with our one another, because some of the man them, instead of respecting them age, they might look upon young girls them and want to exercise themselves on these girls. May I tell you, when you get catch, I finish up in penitentiary, you better know, say that your life done, you know. A person who assault children, a man who go exercise himself against babes, little children, and them get catch, then some serious trouble. Them better have testimony quick.
You can hear what the good brother say. Musical sounds coming down with me. Now this is a musical sensation that is shaking the whole nation. And you can feel the vibration. This musical disc was created from creation, shaking you from the #1 station. As the brother would tell you, hey, tell it to me. You can hear the good brother say, now since the war is over, it'll be like crimson and clover. For even them that deal with violence, they should look down in silence. And you can hear the brother say, no war, brothers and sisters, the war is over. Now you can live good in your neighborhood. Baby, you can live good like you know you should. So if you're young or old, Baby, let the good time roll. You got to reach out and touch your soul. Baby, you could never be cold. You must tell you, I would never compel you. I would never make you blue, neither would I turn my back on you.
May I tell you, good gosh, guidance.
Yeah, it's true to nothing but the truth. Yeah. Oh. Run, run, run. Revolution a come. Run, run, run. Revolution a come. Some of them want socialism, some of them want capitalism, some of them want communism. They all want all kind of ism. Run, run, run. Revolution a come. Run, run, run. Revolution a come. The press must free, so we all can see your wrongdoings and your brutality. Run, run, run. Revolution will come. Justice, human rights stands for all. If we fight Babylon, kingdom will fall. Run, 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 revolution will come. Run, 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 revolution will come. It's a come, yeah.
You think so, joke? That common, it's just ignorance, you see? And non-progressive people stalls things. You never know. No matter how the European them appear to be fussing and fighting in a them language, it's a they're learning. You understand? That's it. But we understand what a pragmatist is. We don't. And those who want to make people believe so them understand pragmatism and so on, them just have a lot of lavish. But you see, the application of something is very important. It's essential. So undoubtedly, we have a lot of well-educated people in our diaspora, Pan-Africans and others, meaning well, but them don't have the application. They don't have the application. What them have is these assumptions of what the white man and this other man and that politician and they are doing and what that mean and what it doesn't mean and so on and so on. You could not attend their surgery as a doctor, as a patient seeking medical help from them because they will spend all them time, I tell you, and not prescribing any form of medication for us. And at that we don't need to understand. But when it comes to play and amusement, them good at it, man. You understand them there I watch all the big backside woman them. Instead of saying, listen, this is not us. There's no black man. There's no families that turn around and look upon them daughters and everything and say, listen, you're not leaving the house looking like that. We have lost our morality. We've lost our etiquette. We've lost our humility. I tell you, sad. It's sad. Sad. So when I say, have a look at Islam, a serious thing. Have a look. The day that we Muslims start look like that, Allah gonna crash the earth. May I tell you? You understand? Because everything be finished. And we are the keeper. Islam is the keeper of this earth here, as it stands. Make we go into them decadence. And you know, see, you will have to sit down. You will never sit down. You just know, say, the days are numbered. And you will see things happening. That's what Farrakhan want to tell you. But I'm not telling you like me, I tell you. Because if he was living the life, he would have tell you straight away. You understand? It's only Al-Islam that have real effect on the human life and the relationship with the Almighty. Oh gosh, man. I tell you, we're going to tell you tomorrow, the relationship with the Almighty, because that's very important. Very, very important. Man seek relationship with him fellow man and a woman. Because they want sex her and want to live with her, and some of them. You understand? But him not seek no relationship with the Almighty. And the relationship that we think that we want to have is flesh and bone. You understand? If you know about spiritual relationship and what spirituality is and how it connects, and most importantly, it's not to disconnect, because it cannot disconnect. You can erode it, but you can't disconnect it. Anyway, I'll tell you that tomorrow, God willing. Guidance is gone for real.
So long we've been separated. My people, it's time we come together. You are my brother, and you are my sister. We must stay together, together, together. All the time, together, forever. You are my father, and you are my mother. We must stay together, together, together. All the time, together, forever. We can go on living this way, living in pain and shame every day. That makes it much harder, and the journey gets longer. So I say, I can't be silent, for it's burning in my heart. Got to sing it out right now, right now, right now, right now. Hear me now. You are my brother, and you are my sister. We must stay together, together, forever. All the time, all the time, all the time, together, forever. You are my brother, and you are my sister. We must stay together, together, together. All the time, all the time, all the time. You are my brother. The same blood runs through one another. Hey. Oh, hey. You are my father. We should stay together, together. We should stay together. Love one another. Together forever, all the time, all the time, all the time, my people, all the time.
Yeah, you see, one day, remember that there is a woman who try write something pertaining to Black House and Michael X and all them something there. See? But you never know nothing about Harambe. You never tell the people them say about our classes. Huh? Our classes. Yes, that we learn. See? Oh gosh, man. And there's some other man them there Brixton won't tell the people them say him could never write a poetry if he never come a Keskadi and research our library. Yes, our library. May I tell you, one of the most prolific library, African Caribbean library in England was at the Keskadis, facilitated by the Harambe Project. You understand? Harambe. Oh gosh, man. Herman Edwards. I tell you. You see? So we're going to get mad and make on all see that them nonsense them a chat. Because we never burn down Islington. We take people them to court and we demonstrate and go down in street. Yeah, joke. You see? Oh yes. Oh yes. We never burn down nowhere. You understand? We fought back, but we never burned down nowhere. We hijacked police station. Oh, yes. Put them on curfew. Police on curfew. Could you imagine? Ring fence a whole police station to rat it. Nothing come out, nothing go in. You understand? Black Horse. Terrible people. Guidance, man. We're gone. Dennis Emmanuel Brown. Is it a competition in what we have done as Caribbean people in England? No, but there's some people that have assimilated and they work for the system. And as time move on, them go there and condemn progression. And especially when the system realize that children of those people that they were faced with in the 60s is here. And we're not daciles or delinquents. See? Them set some of us against us to counter and reduce what we stood for and how it is that we were able to retain that which was and made good of our lives and still want reparation, repatriation, and didn't sit down and start shout for it and scream. They look and see our passports are going out and coming back, going. You understand? It's there to be monitored. It's the system, the way it works. You see? It's just that we ain't got the forum as yet to put our children along with ourselves out there. You see? And let people see us reflecting on what was, where we are now, and what needs to happen. Because we are going to be leaving. Yes, we're going to be leaving. Whether we leave with suitcase or not, we're going to die. We will die. Now, how ignorant and selfish it would be for us knowing that and ain't done nothing for our people, and especially our families. That'd be so selfish and stupid. You understand? So we know that. So we're not going to let some foolish, ignorant things happen where we're not supporting our families. Never. As long as we live, we won't be doing that. You understand? So if we have all these black people, see, all the black people, them, anything called black on this station are going to be Rufuses and roast breadfruit we're talking about. We're talking Africa first and black sellouts second. Yes, because that's what they are. They could be black as star, sellouts. We have to make that serious distinction because we have to put Africa first and not this black thing. But I'm going to use black as sellouts. Anytime I say black, you know me I talk about some sellouts, some Rufuses, some roast breadfruit, some coconuts. Yes, some unrefined people. Yeah. Yes, guidance we gone. God willing, we up there tomorrow.